Guess who's back?
Yes. It's not going to stop the podcast. On moving. Definitely will.
What was the last thing you heard?
I
was about to go into our podcast. Did you?
Yes.
All right. So, like I was saying, like our podcast that we do, and like we don't just get on here and just record, talk, and then keep it pushing. There's like a lot more that goes into this, like paying, subscribing to Zoom in order for us to be able to record past an hour, or or having whenever we start having guests, having multiple people on here, our podcast platform like Buzzsprout, like there's a subscription to that, like to be able to upload our episodes every week, or you know what I mean. So it's like so all this stuff, like it incurs the cost, and it's time consuming because we both have I mean, not us both, but we also have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, you know what I mean, and it's like we have to do more like engagements on our social media platforms, you know what I mean. That's why I started doing reels on our on our Instagram page, and have to doing our live recordings on Facebook, you know what I mean, because getting our content out, getting people to see our content, and trying to grow it. So it's like and being consistent
constant work, and we are not at the place where we can hire people. I mean, I have a little college freshman, but she's down there doing her thing, and I look to put her in positions where you can run this social media at some point, for all businesses that we have, because I can't do social media. Well, I can say that I've been doing both. I can do social media, but do I want to be dealing with social media and doing my product too, making the product? No, like it's time consuming. So just things like that, like you're not going to be able to do everything by yourself. It's just not going to happen. Or you're going to exhaust yourself by making sure that things get done in the long run. So I would recommend, if you can have a teenager help you with your social media, take pictures, do any of that. If you have someone that is reliable that you can give your login information to, that's not going to do anything malicious, then yes, do that. I would recommend doing that. But if you can't find anyone, you're just going to have to continue to do what you need to do in order for the business to grow at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not on my India's Creations Instagram or the Facebook page every day posting. The people say to do that, but I'm not at that point right now. I'm not pushing out material every day. I'm a person that, hey, if you come to me and you ask me, hey, can you do something? Yeah, I'll let you know if I can do it or not. But like I have a 9 to 5, and for me, basketball season takes a huge part of my schedule from October to March. So that's a long time of making sure that stuff gets done. We're talking, you're a 9 to 5er, you're a school or not school parent, sports parent. We're talking about running around. And I think sometimes a lot of people don't understand, like they're thinking, why is someone so tired? And it's just like, I'm like, I got my arms going in every which way, like, and it's exhausting. So to be a new entrepreneur and to make sure things get done, it can get very hectic along with your normal routine as a parent, as a spouse, whatever, however you want to label it, whatever your title is, it can be really hectic. And it takes a patient person to do these different jobs as new entrepreneurs. It really does.
It does. They really do. Really do. Because like, You know what I mean? I can only imagine how stressful it is for you being a parent, you know, because like me being I'm single with no kids. So, but still like, you know, going to work every day as a military member, and, you know, and because of the position that I'm in as an equal opportunity advisor, and, thankfully there's no concerns that's going on at the current moment, but there's, any given moment I can have a flood of concerns where, it's taking my time.
Yes.
But, being a military member and having to, do those requirements of me as a military member, and trying to build these businesses as like my dispatch business. Like I created a website, I created a Facebook page, I created an Instagram page. I need to do flyers so that way I can go out to these truck stops and drop my flyers off and trying to get clientele. At some point I got to start doing cold calling so I can call these different carriers and these owner operators of these trucks to try and get, clientele, you know what I mean? And, convincing them to let me, you know, operate that part of the business for them, and then become a proficient at it. So now you're talking about I'm gonna have to, do these duties as a dispatcher while still working my 9 to 5. And you know what I mean? It's like, and finding that balance, you know what I mean? And to the point where, that becomes my full time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're talking about the next level of like, all right, I'm proficient, I've got my clientele. And then if I'm doing well, and word of mouth starts to get around and other people are starting to look for my services, now my business is starting to scale bigger.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now you're going to talk about, now I'm about to start hiring people, additional people to do these services with me. So I got to copy myself. So now I got to manage myself, and I got to manage them. You know what I mean? So it's like growing, and but you gotta stick it out. You gotta stick through it. You gotta be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Just like this podcast, we had to be consistent. Like we was when, getting zero, just put it out there, and we may have a couple family members and friends that, maybe listen and, tune in, and then, putting word out. Every time everybody asks me, hey, what's going on? What you got going on? Oh, I'm a podcaster. I'm podcasting. You know what I mean? Rocking my my Just Cause podcast sweatshirt that India's Creations made.
Yes, scaling the business.
Right. You know what I mean? Because I was at work one day, and I had, I was in civilian clothes, but I had my Just Cause podcast sweatshirt on. And somebody was like, oh, is that a podcast? I was like, oh yeah, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Give me some feedback.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah. And if you're listening, if you're watching it, by all means, please go on your podcast platform and, leave some feedback for us. Let us know if there's something that you want to hear us talk about. Let us know if there's something that we're doing good. If there's something we can do better, please reach out and go there. If you're on Facebook, leave comments. You know what I mean? If there's something on there that you want to talk about, if you want to comment on there, please comment, please like, please subscribe, all that stuff. We need feedback.
Yeah. I think scaling a business, I think, initially I was not really thinking in detail until we went to the EYL live event, and, just looking around at how many people that they employ, and watching their movements, and, you have a production, and those people have started their own companies, production companies, and they went and they had that EYL event that you went to, assets and liabilities, but what is the
InvestFest?
Yes, InvestFest. So building an InvestFest, like they were new entrepreneurs, new podcasters, like within the last 5 years, or is it 3?
3 years.
It's a small time for business owners, for a quick turnaround for them. They are extremely blessed, but for them to launch InvestFest is going to be big this year. Like to have people that will follow you, and knowing that you're giving reliable information. That's another thing. Like knowing that you can take that information and apply it to your life. And that's what I'm saying. Follow the people that are giving you tools every day for free. The Pinky Coles, the EYL, Rashad and Troy and David Shands and Donnie, like these people are teaching us to go to the next level. And we need to start taking advantage of it. And that's what we want for our lives, to go to the next level, whatever that is. But I think scaling a business is really important because we tend to think small-minded, meaning we don't look at the broader picture, the big picture. Like we think, oh, we have one business and that's it. But scaling a business means, for us, podcasting, hey, we can go into live events, we can go into mentoring, we can go into public speaking at events, we can go into apparel and make money off of that easily. We can go into streaming, just period, on a platform, some type of platform. We can even do EYL. If they came to us today and said, hey, we want y'all to be on our streaming network, and we could do that easily. I mean, podcasters are making millions of dollars right now by signing these different agreements to say, hey, we will speak on your network. And that's where I hope that we get to at the end of the day. Like, do I want to work at my career for 50 years and have nothing to show for it, or have a little 401k that I hope to have enough money to live on for the rest of my life? No, I need more than that. And I'm not afraid to say that. Like, I think sometimes us 9-to-5ers get into the habit of, I'm going to work at this job for 30 years. I'm not going to do anything else. And then when you get to retirement, then it's just like, oh, what do I do now? It's just like, no. Like, I think for us, if you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you need to plan for your 60s and 70s. Definitely.
Yeah, man. Because like I've spoken to a couple of our elders, and they're like retired. Like they can't fathom not doing something every day.
Yeah.
Because they've been like every day they've been getting up and they've been going somewhere to to work or to do something. And the thought of like now just gonna sit home every day, like it's not something that they want to do. Like they don't see that. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like, and I think like like the older generations are still working like past their like retirement dates or retirement age, I should say. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do?
But with that retirement age, it's going to go up for us.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to continue to go up. We're living longer.
So you can't depend on saying, hey, I'm getting out of here from this job at 67 in 30 years for me. So I can't say that today that I trust that day or date is not going to change to 70 or 71. Yeah. I can't say that, because it could very well do that, because we're having so many baby boomers coming in or going into retirement that, yeah, it's probably depleting the money that they have or what they don't have. So that little fun. So
you might not even have a retirement.
Exactly.
It may be no retirement money when we get to retirement age.
And what do you do? What are you going to do if that happens? Is what I will question people that's our age. What is your plan? Because you definitely need to be thinking about it. Because if you think that they won't do it, they will.
Oh yeah.
Have us out here taking. We don't even get a choice to have the money taken out of our check. It comes out like it's a bill collector.
Facts.
So I would definitely. I'm not saying that every entrepreneurship is for everyone, because it is not. It really is not. No, like a lot of people do not have, even entrepreneurs that have been successful are not masters at it, meaning that they are masters at every aspect of being an entrepreneur, a great entrepreneur. I'm sure they had to tune up on different sections of talking to people, providing product, time constraints, different things of that nature. Like And I love the fact that I can relate my skill sets from my job, my 9 to 5, to being an entrepreneur. Because the worst thing that we got to deal with is a bad customer. And, you know, for entrepreneurs, African American entrepreneurs, we come into the situation where people don't want to pay. And they think that they demand they're not paying. They already have it in their mind sometimes that they're not going to pay. So it can be hard to get over that obstacle, meaning that I know I went through a period where I'm just going to give everything out for free. They're just like, oh, wait a minute. Now you're paying for the product, you're doing the product, and you're going to give it for free? No. No. And then people think, okay, if you're my family, give me a discount. And it's just like, no. And I'm just saying this for new entrepreneurs, like, you need to be mindful of everything, because it's lessons that I have learned myself. And like I was telling Ray earlier, my cousin, I have had to come to the conclusion in 2022, my prices have to go up, because everything else, apparel, my product pricing is going up based on, if I buy a product and it was for $15 last year, and it's going up to $25 this year. Like, for instance, a hoodie, like, I'm eating that cost right now. If I'm not charging my customer the increase, and people are expecting it to stay the same, but inflation has torn apart everything. Entrepreneurs need to adjust their prices as inflation has gone up. Because, you know, and I will say this, when we went to the Chinese store probably 8 months ago, when we were heavy into the pandemic, and we went there, I had ordered, and it was like $80. And I'm just like, I ain't never had no Chinese food for no $80. But they had to adjust their prices, and they knew the demand. They knew that we were going to pay it. So yeah, now they've gone back down to 40 for that same product that they are selling. But at that particular time, they had to adjust. And we need to understand, sometimes we have to adjust to what is going on around us.
Indeed. Got to. And I've been thinking about that these past few days. I was like, this is a little off topic, but like, how inflation has affected so much, and how consumer prices are fluid. You know, like, the price to consume things is fluid. It changes, you know, at a drop of a dime. But yet our income doesn't change. Our revenue does not change like consumer prices change. You know what I mean? Like, inflation went up like 7.5%, which is astronomical. But the cost of, you know what I mean? But the cost of living, wages has not changed. Or if it does change, it's going to go, I think it heard it's going to only go up like 4%.
Yeah.
So what about that other 3.5%?
It has to be accounted for. You know, I personally, I hate to put it like this, but when we go in for our annual reviews, and people are saying after last year that they don't have the money to give us over 5% of an increase, you've gotten money from the government, a good amount of money for private businesses and public too. So for some of us, we didn't even get that incentive. If we get the COVID shot, we'll get the $100 or $50. Some of us did get that, but some of us did not. So you got fronted the money, as far as I'm concerned, and it didn't roll over to our paychecks. And with this inflation situation, like, I think that some people need to, you know, take a look at what's going on. And I'm sure it'll be, hopefully be taken care of soon. But with this new situation in Ukraine, and gas is going up, it's getting ready to be crazy. And I'm telling you, people, y'all better be paying attention to what's going on. Like,
Absolutely.
it's really important.
Absolutely. If you're not investing, like the market is taking a dip right now. If you want to get into investing, this is probably a good time to get into it, to learn and to really figure out how the market works, because it's a dip going on right now.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like even crypto, if you're not up on crypto and you think crypto is not a thing, or it's not real, it's not gonna last, like you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's now it's getting to a point where, like, I read where like the people in Ukraine were flooding to the ATMs.
Yes.
They couldn't pull no money out because the banks like froze. Like everybody left the banks, and the banks are froze. Like people can't draw money out of banks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like they can't they'll have no access to their accounts, but you can still have access to Bitcoin or to cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Another incident, they was protesting in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and the government just said, if you was an active participant in the protest and you inhibited the flow of traffic going in and out of Canada, if they identify you, they're free. They freezing checking accounts. They're freezing your bank account. And yes,
What?
and I'm not saying like there was no like, hey, let's put this bill through, or get this running up
They
through
doing it off the top.
off top. They freeze, like, if they identified you as a protester that inhibited the flow of traffic and trucks coming in and out of Canada, like they freezing your bank account.
Mm.
But they can't freeze cryptocurrency because it's not centralized. It's decentralized currency. So if you was investing in cryptocurrency, you still have access to that.
So, with cryptocurrency, I think a lot of people they're not really following everything. I know I wasn't. And when I took Jay down to drop her off to Atlanta back in August, I saw that a gas station, I want to say it was in North Carolina, and they had an ATM machine for cryptocurrency.
Yep.
And I was just like, what in the world? But we don't have that here. Not that I know of in Delaware.
I seen it when I got back from Kuwait in December of 2019, and I came home and I went to Royal Farms, one of the Royal Farms, and since this not 2019 but 2020. But since December 2020, I went to Royal Farms and I went to grab some money out of the ATM, and it was US money, and it was crypto.
Really?
At the ATM, yes.
That's just interesting. Like I didn't pay. Well, I haven't been to those particular ATMs. So
it's over there. It's been there.
What?
I'm telling you, it's a time to really. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. If you need to find someone who's learning about this stuff, researching about this stuff, and find out how you can get in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't want to be an entrepreneur, fine, but at least be an investor.
Yeah.
Learn about investing. Learn how to get you a brokerage account, whether it's TD Ameritrade, whether it's Fidelity. If you want to use Robinhood, which I'm not a fan of, but you can use it if you're a new investor, you can use Robinhood. Find out these brokerages and find out how they work. What's the requirements for you to be in those brokerages, and find out how trading works. How can I invest in companies? How can I invest in these public companies? How can, what does these graphs and charts mean? You know what I mean? You need to figure this stuff out, or find someone who knows about it and get in, because it's going to help you. You know what I mean? Like, I was listening to Wall Street Trapper, and he was talking about how, like, if you have $1,000 in the bank today, by the end of the year, that $1,000 is going to be worth like $900.
Yeah.
Because of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, inflation is a silent killer. The banks, if you think that just because you put you have a savings account in a bank that's earning you less than 1% a year, like that's not going to do it.
You know,
You know what I
we
mean?
love to hoard that kind of money in our savings account, but we tend to not look at our options to increase those savings accounts, or invest in the right things for long-term increase. For instance, Apple,
Mhm.
um Apple, Microsoft, who else, are good ones?
Apple, Microsoft, uh, you need to look at indexes. Those are your, even though they cost a lot, but you can still, because of fractional trading, you can get in at a fraction of whatever the cost is. But yeah, Apple, uh, Amazon, Google. Google's real good to get in right now if you can get in, because they're about to do a split here this summer, and they're about to do a 20-20 to 1 split.
Yeah.
So, if you buy one share of Google, which is, I think last time I looked, it was at like $2,600
Mhm.
for one share. But when they do that split, you're gonna have 20 shares of
Yeah.
Google, and then that, it's gonna be, and then you buy more.
Yes. Yes.
It's going to go back up to that
Mhm.
$2,000-$3,000 range. It's guaranteed.
Same thing with Amazon. We're waiting for the split with Amazon. We were blessed enough to get Apple to split, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, those our companies are not going anywhere right now. Amazon, as much money as we spend on Amazon, and times are changing, and their fees are going up. Netflix going up.
Cut them off. You got about you got about one more re-raising prices, Netflix. Because I'm telling you, I'm about to treat you like, if you got something good, I'll subscribe, and then when I'm finished watching, I'm unsubscribing.
You canceling?
I'm canceling. I'm telling you.
Listen, I think my issue with that situation is I don't even watch the stuff.
Anymore.
But
Like,
I'm
it's not,
for it.
because it's not, it's the fact. Here's the thing about it is, right? And I was talking to a friend of mine earlier about this. When it comes to Netflix, you are no longer the sole entity, or you're no longer like, you're not the only streaming platform anymore.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You got Hulu, you
Yeah.
got Amazon has a streaming service, you got Disney Plus, you got HBO Max. You know what I mean? Even though HBO Max and only does their content, but
Mhm.
still, you know what I mean? It's like you're not the only competition anymore. So
Yeah.
it's like, what are you gonna do to make yourself valuable? You know what I mean? It's even
I have to say this. I didn't have an issue with Amazon until last month. I had ordered water for Jay to be delivered to her school. So I went, ordered it. So she gets a call from this driver or whatever. And he's saying, look, you need to come downstairs because I'm not delivering your water to the mailroom at your university. So she's like, well, all you gotta do is take it up, the escalator or the steps to the mailroom. That's what you're supposed to do. And he's like, no, you're not gonna get your water then. Like real nasty. So I call Amazon customer service, and I'm just like, hold on, wait a minute. When do y'all start operating like this? Because I'm paying my little fee every month, and y'all getting ready to make me cut y'all off. But I'm a good customer for Amazon. I'm buying things all of the time for my business.
Mhm.
So I'm buying things for Jay to be sent down there. I of course it helps us out because she doesn't have to go out so much to get what she needs if it can be delivered. But
Mhm.
still, at the end of the day, if you are charging your customer for a service, then you have to be willing to fulfill that service. And you can't have the middleman in between. That's another key thing for business owners. If you hire people, make sure that you hire the right people, because just in this instance, Amazon hired a bad person that's getting ready to jeopardize a customer or future customers based on that. And you have to have good customer service. You can't call people up and say, hey, you're going to do this when I paid you for a service. What's wrong
Mhm.
with you? So again, Pay attention to everything. No different than support Black colleges. I was hot with them last month because I had ordered something back in November, the beginning of November. And I get the package after sending multiple emails, and they send me the wrong product.
Mm.
And I'm just like, man, I wanted to support you. I
Mm.
really, really wanted to support you. I love the products that you give to us, but you gave me the wrong product. You didn't give me what I ordered. So, and then you're unwilling to give me a refund. So yeah, I'm gonna chill out on ordering from you from here on out. I'm gonna give you a little break. So it's just things like that that's really important as new business owners. Like, be mindful of everything. I've had to learn that too, myself. Just make sure that you can get a good turnaround time, be in contact with your customers. If you can't get to that turnaround time, that scheduled turnaround time of when they need their product. And if you can't do a product, then you need to tell the customer that, listen, I can't do that for you. You'll have to find someone else. Those shoes that I just did the other day, I had a relative come to me and they said they have reached out to like 3 different people, and the people wouldn't even answer them. They, wouldn't tell them that they weren't able to do it for this event. So, if people pay money for a service and then you don't do it, or you can't do it in that particular time, and that time is coming, then they got to go and find somebody else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, they found me or whatever, and that was my first time customizing sneakers. But again, they gave me an opportunity to test my skills and say, hey, listen, I can do this too. So
yeah,
it's growing pains.
It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be patient. I have faith that it'll work out in the end, and
yes,
we'll be able to fulfill some goals and some dreams that we want to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I am so excited. Once I got over my week, I was like, you know what? Let me jump back into what I need to do. Basketball season is done. I'm excited to do what I need to do as an entrepreneur. I have free time again, to, especially on the weekends, to get some products done, to get it out, just having that peace of mind, in these hectic times is really, really important. So yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
Got it. All right. We're going to close out on that note.
Yes.
Once again, great conversation. I appreciate talking to you. I love it when I talk to you. I love our conversations. Thank you to all the cousins out there that's listening, or who's watching. We had some technical difficulties, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it pushing. We made it happen and we made it work.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. You know what I mean? So I hope you found some type of value out of this discussion that we have. I hope that it provokes some thought. I hope it provokes some thought, and it makes you think about making some changes, making some mindset changes too. By all means, please, leave some feedback. If you're listening to our podcast on a podcast platform, whether it's Apple or it's Google or it's Spotify, leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think. If there's not comment, but a topic that you want to hear us discuss, talk about, please do that. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, please, leave your comments, write a post, let us know how you do. Tell a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend, and if there's something that you want to hear, please, by all means, let us know what it is. And, we'll discuss it. I know that I'm putting together a basic credit presentation that talks about the basics of credit and like what is credit and why is it important. So if that's as soon as I can finish putting that together, we're gonna put it out, and so that way we can get mass participation. If there's somebody that you want to learn about credit. If you got a young one that's, wants to know about credit, you want them to know about credit, please, by all means, once we put it together and we put it out there, let them know. Let them come watch the podcast. Let it make it a family event.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Scaling.
You know what I mean? So that way you can, if you don't know, then you can learn. And if you got some young ones that you want to know, like the basics about credit, then, we can learn together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So please, please support and please help us out.
Yes, we
Help us help you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, all right. Final comments? Final thoughts?
I appreciate everyone's support within this last week. We will definitely be following up here soon with steps to go forward. But like I said, I appreciate my family. I appreciate my friends. Anybody that has reached out to me, I will be, like I said, following up in the next week or so to our next step of what we will need to do to seek justice. But like I said, I appreciate everything. All the calls, text messages, whatever that you have done to help me out or assist me in this effort. I genuinely appreciate everything. So.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right, cousins, y'all take it easy. We'll see y'all next time.